Hey guys, LegomationStudio here with the final Throwbot review, or at least the final one until we get Spark. And this time we're reviewing MILLENNIA. Now MILLENNIA is an interesting character. He's the biggest of all the Throwbots, but definitely also the most interesting. Unlike all the others, he has two forms. You can either choose the front side of the box, which is MILLENNIA Throwbots, number 8520, ages 7 and up, Lego Technique, contains 137 pieces. Or you can flip it over and make this guy. So it's like two guys in one. There's really no back of the box. You can either choose whatever you want. Also containing 137 pieces, the same guy, MILLENNIA. It's really that MILLENNIA is his name, and he can either be this one small Throwbot that goes on a motorcycle, or he can be a giant Titan. So you can either choose a little guy in a vehicle or a giant Titan. So you have two options. Sadly, not both at the same time. I know some people who actually bought two MILLENNIAs, but once, again, I'm telling you, MILLENNIA is definitely very rare. So even the chance of getting two is pretty crazy, and if you do, they're going to not be that cheap. I considered it, but then pretty much thought away of it because there's really no reason, I guess. Just because they're both awesome models. But the actual front, because the back opens up here, so you could say that the real guy that MILLENNIA is the guy on the front. But you can choose which is your favorite. So on this picture, you can see that he's flying upward from actually the planet. You've got the water, some of the fire here, jungle, electro. So he's flying from the dome. You can see pieces of the dome right here. The Slizer Throwbot dome at the top of the planet. So he's flying off from it as the asteroid hits. Don't know if he lived there on the planet in the first place or if he was mutated. I think he is mutated, but maybe he was living there underground and the rock hitting the planet woke him up. But I do know that Blaster was a mutant. But for MILLENNIA, we really don't know. Once again, the story was never really explained once it was canceled. But this is what we've got for him so far. On the side, we have a picture of him in his vehicle mode. And on this side, we have him and the golden disc that he comes with. Throwbots MILLENNIA. Nice. On the back, the picture for his vehicle mode is he's going through all this electricity gooey stuff that's trying to grab hold of him around him as he's going through toxic waste. There's a little toxic waste symbol here. I don't know if you see it. But he's flying through driving through the streets, trying to get out of here with his golden disc in his arm. One little guy, big vehicle. Or you can choose one big guy, but that's kind of this weird goop going around him as he's flying through the cities, or driving through the cities. But yeah, that's what we've got for the box. So, boom or boom, you choose. So let's open it up and take a look inside. Now, first we're going to show you this version of the guy, this version of MILLENNIA, and then I'm going to rebuild it into that version. So we're gonna get a review of both guys. As you can see, right now we only have the this version built of MILLENNIA. So there are still extra pieces and stuff. But we'll talk about the instruction booklet here. So here's the instruction booklet. Another really clear picture of him flying up from the planet, even clearer than before. And so yeah, so what we've got is just like Blaster's instructions, and open it up. In the background is that weird gooey stuff again, that green blech. Keep going, and eventually turns to where you start making the other one where you make the small guy and then the vehicle, so you can choose what you want to do. Then we have an advertise for competition Cyber Slam. Nice. And then on the back, an interesting advertise for the Throwbots / Slithers, because it says both names on this. So I don't know if this set was evenly produced in Europe and United States. It probably was, which is why it says this. So we got a really nice clear picture of the planet in the middle, the beach ball planet if you want to call it. And then all of the guys around it with their names and their set numbers. But then we have both Throwbot and Slizer on the same picture. Throwbots, Slizer. So that's interesting. I don't know if they just did that to please both people, but when I first saw this, all I saw was the Slither symbol, and I was like, oh, well, maybe this was one from European, but it has Throwbots too. So we've got both names. This is a mystery. Maybe both of them were meant to be, or the story would have gone on to saying that some of these were Slizers originally and some of them were Throwbots. Who knows? You can make up your own story by now because they canceled all the original story. But it's just interesting to note that we have both names on one even print. So that's interesting there. But yeah, really cool picture with just really resembling what Throwbots is all about. And Slizer. Slizer, Throwbot, Slizer's Throwbot. Who knows? But yeah, let's take a look at this dude. Okay, so here we've got Millennia. As you can see, he's not really a best design, but they couldn't go too far with these Throwbots, as I said before. I mean, the beginning of Bionicle weren't the best designs either, but this was really the ancestors that were testing out Bionicle. I really think that keeping it to these small guys really made them special, because they were all evened out in their body, because they weren't that big, the Throwbots. But then when they went on to Titans, it was a little harder, because as you can see, his arms are just, well, this little arm, this piece. There's not two joints, not one joint, it's just one little piece. So it makes him look kind of wimpy, which makes people think, well, maybe the motorcycle version is the better way to go. But he definitely has some awesome boosters on his feet that explain why he can fly up from the planet so fast. And two same gray arms, kind of wings here, not really. And then his head is gold, which is really nice. Millennia has some nice gold thrown into him. So he has a golden head, and with his, let's just call it a visor or a mask, he has this like a yellow bee kind of bug-looking mask. So that's cool. Da-da-da. But yeah, we'll flip him around. You can see his design there. Again, really wimpy legs, but that was the Throwbots were known for, and it was just kind of funny back then. I mean, who didn't love the wimpy legs? Everyone likes them. Yeah. We've got two, I don't know if you can call these his eyes, but little red pieces that are put either here. I don't know if you want to call this his eyes or not, or if you want to keep these his eyes, or those. You choose. Maybe he has 4 eyes altogether. But a really good combination of, well, let's say red and black with gray here and there. He looks really weird on camera, I must say. He does not look as weird in real life. But this is basically what we have for the Titan version of Millennia. As you can see, he comes with a disc, and then the motorcycle goes with a disc. And for his elemental disc, we have, are you ready? Ba-ba-bum! So earlier, you know, I never opened this guy when I had reviewing those other Throwbots. So when I thought that this was the most rare and the most awesome, it is still, but I didn't know it came with Millennia. So now you have a real good reason to get Millennia, and it's probably one of the main reasons why he's my favorite. Not just because he's the biggest, but because he's, well, maybe the rarest. At least in the next couple of years, he will be. He's basically, it's the all 8 lights, the most powerful, but I guess maybe it isn't the most rare because it came in a regular set, and I think it came with every one if I'm not mistaken. If not, then I guess I'm just really lucky, but it's definitely a really cool disc, has the planet with the thing, strobe pointing out of the light, but just really cool. Mysteries, unanswered questions. What I'd come to conclusion about Throwbots is you can make your own stories if you get them on eBay. Make some videos here on YouTube about what you think would have happened, what the light coming off the dome meant, what the meteor came from, how the mutants came to be, all of that, just everything. Read up on Wikipedia and see if you can add onto your own story, because it's definitely something you could work with. But that was a mouthful. Anyways, here's this version of Millennia. He has 2 arms to throw with, so you can just pull back and let it fly. But I am so glad that I got this disc. And you should be too, because now you know you have a chance to get it if you can find Millennia online. But there are some stickers right there. You see there's some stickers you had to add on to some stuff. And there's even more for the motorcycle, but that's what we got for this version of Millennia. Now we'll take a look at his motorcycle version and the little guy that rides it. Whew, that took a while, but here he is. I took apart the other version of Millennia and put it into this form. And I've got to say, I actually might like this form better. You know, I'm a big fan of the big, bulky guys that really add really, like, cool, imaginative stuff to the series. But this uses a lot more pieces, this version, and it just differentiates from the other guys. I mean, we already have one big guy, Blaster, who really can't be turned into much else, and you can make combinations from all the other guys to make another big guy. So, but none of them have motorcycles. So when we're given a vehicle, I guess if it's the only vehicle, then it's good to stick with the vehicle. I'm gonna keep him like this, and heck, you know, on all the advertises, like let's look on Blaster's box, it advertises Millennia as the motorcycle, not the other one. And quite similar to Robo Riders too, you know, because they were all motorcycles. But let's forget about Robo Riders for the time being and just talk about this. Well, there's a really cool thing about this vehicle. I mean, it has stickers on the detail, and even the sticker there, as you can see, and tubes going along it there, and same face, same gold face and everything. But it includes this disc, the golden disc, which is the main disc for in vehicle mode. It goes with his gold head, as you can see, and it's a picture of him as the vehicle, and it also is 8, and this is just another rare. So 2 really rare discs, and the only gold disc you can ever get comes with this set. Might even be more rare. I don't know if as powerful, but more rare than this disc. But this disc is definitely like more maybe powerful, but this one, because it's gold and comes with this set only, is definitely more rare. But 2 really nice notches that fit the discs perfectly. They're made just for putting discs in, so a good little compartment for your discs as well. And just really looks like a way better design. If you saw when he was just in his regular form here, he looks cool on the box here, but actually was kind of a wimpy guy. You know, just not the best build. But when put like this, definitely works out great. The tires work great. No bad friction moving up with the sides. They twirl and spin just fine. There's a separate guy though, and we'll take him off here. And the guy really isn't one of my favorites, of course. He's really not that good of a guy, but they had to kind of deal with what they had of the pieces to make a guy. And here he is. A little scrawny dude, but kind of like Jet in the fact that he has 2 arms. And he's never explained in the story if he can, like, in vehicle mode, can just, like, transform or turn into the big, tall, actual big form of Millennia. But I don't know, so I don't know if, or maybe if they're 2 separate guys, just consisting of the same kind of idea in parts. But he has his 2 feet and legs here, similar to what the legs and feet were for pretty much a lot of the Throwbots. Two arms, gray and black is mainly his color scheme, with the random gold head and the same face that his bigger version has. And then he has 2 like really wings, and big wings, so that's cool. But no real functions, except for he has that regular function that most of the Throwbots had, where you could spin this and his head will move up or down along with his arms. But yeah, that's the little guy here, but that's him, and he can shoot just fine with discs and works for a little guy, definitely. But not that colorful, just black and gray. But it's a good figure that they could have made out of the rest of the pieces left in the set for the vehicle mode. And then the vehicle itself, very nice, really motorcycle looking and fits together perfectly. This even spins and it has maneuverability, kind of like the Sendox V1 for Bionicle 2009 vehicles had, where you could move the front and it would move along with it, making it good for all terrain. Forward turn, backward turn, either way, whichever way you want to go. So really, just really nice in the detail that they had. So I'm going to keep him as this. Millennia, I think, goes better as the bike, because not only is it not just another one of the big posture-sized dudes, titans really, but it is a vehicle, and the only Throwbot vehicle that we ever got. So that's my opinion. Maybe you actually like him better as a big tall guy, but I'm gonna have to stick with him being the little scrawny guy on the pretty badass motorcycle, however. And his arms actually fit perfectly in these little notches that are made here. And yeah, has a little light in the front of his bike, and is pretty cool all in all. So let's just take an overview of this final Throwbot review we got. Of all the Throwbots, I definitely really like Millennia because he adds some different stuff to it. And heck, he has both of the really rare discs, the Planet disc and the golden disc of his rider. So if you want to get Millennia, I suggest you get him. If you want to get one of the big, you know, you have a couple Throwbots you can get, and then one of the two Titans. I'm going to call them Titans again, but yeah, Titans, then I would suggest you get Millennia rather than Blaster because, I don't know, but maybe you like Blaster because he's yellow and black and he's a fusion of two of the regular Throwbots, but, and he's a combiner with Flare and Spark. This guy isn't a combiner with anyone, but this guy's definitely diverse and different, you know, motorcycle and body form. So you choose, you decide, but I definitely like him more than Blaster, and I would definitely recommend him because he's the only one of his kind, really. So, really cool Throwbot to add to your collection, and I recommend you go out and get the Throwbots. This is pretty much the end of our Throwbots until we eventually get Spark, which will just be a random review posted whenever this year. But this is the end of Throwbots review. Hope you guys have enjoyed, and hope you good luck at finding any online and collecting them. They're pretty awesome. The ancestors of Bionicle, and yeah. So thanks for watching it, guys. Hope you've enjoyed this review of Millennia. And this is LegomationStudio's Throwbots Reviews, signing out.